Exhortation to Propagate the Sutra, Volume 8, Chapter 9. Sutra. Ananda, suppose someone were to fill up all the space in the 10 directions with the 7 precious things and then present them as an offering to Buddhas as numerous as motes of dust, with his mind set on serving and making offerings to them in thought after thought. Do you think this person would reap many blessings from making such an offering to the Buddhas? Commentary. Ananda, suppose someone were to fill up all the space in the walls of the 10 directions with the 7 precious things and then present them as an offering to Buddhas as numerous as motes of dust, with his mind set on serving and making offerings to them in thought after thought. Well, there would be gold, silver, Vaidurya, crystal, mother of pearl, red pearls, and carnelian everywhere. He would then very respectfully hold them up as an offering to limitless, boundless Buddhas. He would be bowing and making offerings in every thought, without letting a moment go by in vain. Do you think this person would reap many blessings from making such an offering to the Buddhas? What do you think? That person has given such a tremendous quantity of the 7 precious things as an offering to the Buddhas. Under these circumstances, will he obtain a great reward of blessings? What do you say? Sutra. Ananda answered, since space is limitless, the precious things would be boundless. In the past, someone gave the Buddha 7 coins and consequently was reborn as a wheel-turning king in his next life. As to this person who now fills up all the space and all the Buddha lands with an offering of precious things that could not be reckoned through endless ends, how could there be a limit to his blessings? Commentary. Ananda answered, since space is limitless, the precious things would be boundless. In the past, someone gave the Buddha 7 coins and consequently was reborn as a wheel-turning king in his next life. A wheel-turning sage king has 1,000 sons. It is not known how many wives he has. A wheel-turning sage king has awesome virtue. He has a vehicle that can take him around the 4 great continents in just a couple of hours. His vehicle is probably faster than any modern-day rocket. That is one of the treasures he owns. As to this person who now fills up all the space and all the Buddha lands with an offering of precious things that could not be reckoned through endless ends, now could there be a limit to his blessings? The person who offered 7 coins to the Buddha attained the position of a wheel-turning sage king. Now this person gives an offering not of a mere 7 coins, but of a quantity of the 7 precious things that fills empty space and the Dharma Realm, even if one spent a limitless and inconceivable number of ends. One could never finish calculating his blessings and virtue. How could you say that his blessings have a limit? They have no limit. Sutra. The Buddha told Ananda, all Buddhas, Tathagatas, speak words which are not false. There might be another person who had personally committed the 4 major offenses and the 10 parajikas, so that in an instant he would have to pass through the adversary house in this world and other worlds until he had passed through all the relentless hells in the 10 directions without exception. Commentary. The Buddha told Ananda, all Buddhas, Tathagatas, speak words which are not false. The Buddhas do not tell lies. There might be another person who had personally committed the 4 major offenses and the 10 parajikas. The 4 major offenses are killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, and lying. In the Shurangama Sutra, they are known as the 4 clear instructions on purity, which you heard about earlier. The 10 parajikas are the 10 major Bodhisattva precepts. Parajika means cast out, For someone who commits these offenses is cast out of the sea of the Buddha Dharma. These 10 offenses cannot be repented of. If you want to understand them in detail, you can look up the first 10 Bodhisattva precepts, so that in an instant he would have to pass through the Avashi house in this world and other worlds until he had passed through all the relentless hells in all the worlds throughout the 10 directions. He would have undergone suffering for his offenses in every single hell without exception. Sutra. And yet, if he could explain this Dharma door for just the space of a thought to those in the Dharma Ending Age who have not yet studied it, his obstacles from offenses would be eradicated in response to that thought, and all the hells where he was to undergo suffering would become lands of peace and bliss. Commentary. And yet, if he could explain this Dharma door of the great Shurangama Samadhi for just the space of a thought to those in the Dharma Ending Age who have not yet studied it, his obstacles from offenses would be eradicated in response to that thought. If in the Dharma Ending Age, for as short a time as the space of a single thought, this person could teach the Dharma door of the Shurangama Sutra to people who have not yet studied the Buddha Dharma, his offenses would swiftly be eradicated, and all the hells where he was to undergo suffering would become lands of peace and bliss. All the suffering he was due to undergo in the various hells would become peace and happiness that he gets to enjoy. He would not experience any suffering at all. Sutra. The blessings he would obtain would surpass those of the person previously mentioned by hundreds of thousands of millions of billions of times, indeed by so many times that no calculations or analogies could express it. Commentary. The blessings he would obtain would surpass those of the person previously mentioned. The blessings obtained by the person who explains the Shurangama Sutra surpass those gained by the person who fills empty space and the Dharma Realm with the 7 precious things and offers them to as many Sathagatas as there are motes of dust, respectfully serving and making offerings to them. If you can explain the Shurangama Sutra for people who don't understand the Buddha Dharma, the blessings you obtain surpass those of the other person by hundreds of thousands of millions of billions of times, indeed by so many times that no calculations or analogies could express it. Your reward of blessings is so much greater that there is no way to figure out just how great it is. Sutra. Ananda. If living beings are able to recite this sutra and uphold this mantra, I could not describe in endless ends how great the benefits will be. Rely on the teaching I have spoken. Cultivate in accord with it, and you will directly realize Bodhi without encountering demonic karma. Commentary. Ananda. If living beings in the future are able to recite this sutra and uphold this mantra, I could not describe in endless ends how great the benefits will be. If I were to speak in detail about the benefits of reading and reciting the Shurangama Sutra and reciting the Shurangama mantra, I still wouldn't finish too, no matter how many great ends had passed. All of you should rely on the teaching I have spoken, cultivate in accord with it, and you will directly realize Bodhi without encountering any demonic dharma. Follow this method to cultivate, and you will straight away be able to accomplish the unsurpassed fruition of Bodhi without undergoing any further demonic karma. January 1983. The Shurangama Sutra is a sutra that acts like a demon spotting mirror in Buddhism. All the celestial demons, externalists, and the Li, Mei, and Wang Liang ghosts reveal their true appearance when they see the Shurangama Sutra. They have no way to hide and no place to which they can flee. And so in the past, when Great Master Churchill heard of the existence of this sutra, he bowed in the direction of India for 18 years. For 18 years, he used this spirit of utmost sincerity to pray for the sutra to be brought to China. Of all the greatly virtuous and eminent monks of the past, all the wise and lofty Sanghans, there was not a single one who did not praise the Shurangama Sutra. Therefore, as long as the Shurangama Sutra exists, the Buddha Dharma exists. If the Shurangama Sutra is destroyed, then the Buddha Dharma will also be extinct. How will the decline of the Dharma come about? It will begin with the destruction of the Shurangama Sutra. Who will destroy it? The celestial demons and externalists will. They see the Shurangama Sutra as being like a nail in their eyes and a thorn in their flesh. They can't sit still and they can't stand steady. They are compelled to invent by Devin theory that says the Shurangama Sutra is false. A Buddhist disciple should recognize true principle. Every word of the doctrines in the Shurangama Sutra is the absolute truth. There isn't one word that does not express the truth. So now that we are studying the 50 skandha demons, we should realize even more just how important the Shurangama Sutra is. The Shurangama Sutra is what the Devin demons, ghosts, and goblins fear most. The Venerable Master Su Yun lived to be 120 years old, and during his whole life, he didn't write a commentary for any sutra other than the Shurangama Sutra. He took special care to preserve the manuscript of his commentary on the Shurangama Sutra. He preserved it for several decades, but it was later lost during the human incident.